Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the Oracle of Lilith. My name is Amy, and today I'm doing a pick a card all about the messages your inner child has for you. I have been meaning to do this pick a card for a while. There is many inner children here that have been wanting to come forth, and they actually picked out these little ponies. They're knockoff My Little Ponies, but they are beautiful nonetheless. And it's interesting because they wanted the knockoffs, okay? They didn't want the real ones because they were like, well, you know, our childhoods weren't exactly, you know, pristine My Little Pony childhoods now, were they? So there's a lot of humor here with these inner children energies and really beautiful spirits, and I think they have a lot of really interesting, insightful, and beautiful messages to share today. So I'm so glad you're here. If this is your first time to my channel, hi, hello, how are you? It's really good to have you. I hope you will consider subscribing to my channel and becoming a member of my tribe. If you're a returning subscriber, hey guys, what's up? How are you? It's always good to connect with your energy, and I really appreciate you guys being here. So I've done a pre-shuffle here. I'll be pulling more cards as I need to for clarity. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you each My Little Pony, well, My Little Pony knockoff, Little Pony up close. Also, I have a song for each group. Each group presented with a song, and I listened to the song as I was doing the pre-shuffle for your cards. So I got to kind of like get into the energy of each group of inner children, and it was really insightful and touching. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you each pony and each song so you can get a better vibe of each group. Group 1, you are the blue pony, and your song is I'm Blue by Eiffel. Group 2, you are the violet pony. I Can't Stop the Feeling from the movie Trolls. Group 3, you are the pink pony. 1,000 Years is your song by Christina Perri. And our beautiful pink pony came spotted on her face. It's permanent. I tried to get it off, but it's a part of her coat. So, okay guys, those are going to be your selections. I will insert a little video with some music for those of you guys who need a little bit more time to see which group you're drawn to. Now, if you're drawn to more than one group, there probably is more than one message here for you. And with that said, I'll see you beautiful, magical creatures on the other side. Bye guys.
Told you to walk away. That was my first and last mistake. I'm blue without your face. But what can I do? 'Cause I'm just a sinking ship, and you're just a pair of lips that I've lost in the moment. All I want is for you to come back. Now I'm caught in the middle of life. so I can give you one more chance. You're only living in your damn head. Yes, without you by my side, I can't survive.
Hey, Group 1, all of you that selected the blue pony, this is going to be your reading all about the messages that your inner child has for you. Your song was I'm Blue by Eiffel. So let's get into it and see the cards that came out for you. I may be pulling more cards for clarity. I may not. It just kind of depends on where your little inner child takes us today. So we're just going to kind of see what comes forward in this reading. The inner children picked the cards. They were like, we want fun cards. And these are the cards, as far as like the type of cards that they pulled me to. Your inner child has kind of, well, your inner child has kind of blue skin, okay? Your inner child appears to me, visionarily speaking, psychically, impressionally speaking, like a blue being. Okay, the eyes are different. They they are somewhat human and somewhat not. Okay, well, we have starseed elemental. So there's something about you, about your inner child, that is otherworldly. Okay, so you may resonate with Fae energy, or you may resonate with starseed energy. Starseed energy can be a little prickly as far as like terminology goes, because it does tie back to some ideas that are very toxic in philosophy. But what I think of with starseed energy is like aligning with multi-dimensional self, multiple ways of being, originating from other universes and things like that. Okay, so that's what I'm feeling here. I feel like your third eye is very active. Okay, very active, very connected. Your crown chakra isn't just white light, it's rainbow light. Okay, there's something about your energy that is very otherworldly here. Let's get into some more cards. I love this energy. It's adorable, but there's also something fierce about this energy. Awareness of cosmic influences, 33. Okay. It's almost like there's like a spiritual master wrapped up in this little blue creature. Okay. We have yes. Okay. So if you have a question, or you have some kind of doubt, or you have something you're going through and you're wondering, could this be happening? Is this happening? Yes. Yes, it is. Your inner child is saying, yes, it's happening. It's happening for you. This is happening. This is what's going on. We have asked for help from others. Okay. All right. I know that throughout your life, you probably haven't asked for a lot of help because you haven't received a lot of help. It feels like this inner child hasn't, probably when you asked for help as a child, you didn't receive it, or you were told to not be weak, to not look for handouts or hand ups. You had to do it all yourself. And at times, as children, we need help. It's okay to have help. As adults, we need help. As human beings on this planet, we need help. And because I get this like otherworldly energy, you may have had some real issues just with dealing with being in the human vessel, alive on the human plane, in the human realm, dealing with just being here, being human, because this has been a very dense experience, because I feel like there is a lot of etheric energy around you. You're a very etheric type of being, okay? A multidimensional self. I feel like you came from a higher dimension. Your inner child is like showing me rays of light, like different rays. You may resonate with the blue ray or the violet ray. You might want to look those up if you're not familiar. Pink ray as well, like coming in, like descending into flesh, okay, descending into this incarnation. Some of you may feel like you were invited here, or it's like a pre-incarnation here. It's like you sat down with your spirit team. I see like I see a group in a white room sitting around a table. I see someone with a really big head, like a blue, it's like a normal, I don't want to say normal, okay, but a humanoid that is of normal human, earth human height with an extremely large head. And they're kind of a blue, a light blue. Their eyes are big and black, but they're covered by these square blue glasses. Okay, and they're talking to a group of people around, of beings, I should say, around this table. And the table is like, it's not glass, but it looks like glass. I think it's some kind of crystallized of material, and they're using some kind of quantum computer to program this lifetime. And you're sitting there with them, and I feel like you're somehow, you are placed at like the head of this table, the middle of the table. It's hard for me to correlate where you are at this table, which person you are, which being you are. Are you the blue person? Is that you? And it feels like there was a lot of planning about this. There was a lot of forgetting of your immense knowledge and power to come into this plane. So it's like there was a forgetting. See all the stars and all of, like, there's galaxies and DNA here, and there's so much knowledge and knowing here that it's like locked within your third eye. It's like locked away because you wanted to come into this incarnation and get your PhD. You wanted to do it all in this incarnation, and your inner child is calling you to remember. And here's the thing for you that your inner child wants you to know is that you are one of a group of beings within the human collective that came in and incarnated into thousands of lifetimes at one time. Okay, so your experience of time is a singularity, okay? And you experienced thousands of lifetimes, maybe more, at one time, okay? And I know that for some people, that's kind of a hard thing to kind of swallow, but I think for those of you who resonate with this reading, if you made it this far, 7:27 so far on the clock, that will resonate for you. If it doesn't, then this isn't your group, okay? It's pretty much that simple. Let's get further into this reading. Compromise. Okay, so ask for help from others and compromise. Okay, so here's the thing. You know the way, okay? You absolutely know the way. And yes, you will have leadership ability, absolutely. But in this incarnation, you're being called to compromise and work with others. Okay, it's part of your human experience. It's part of your co-creation. You are here to co-create with people, which requires you to actually reach out to people, which I feel may be an issue for you. Okay, trusting people, because I feel like this starseed elemental may feel a little bit outside the box. Because you are different. You are different. And there's nothing wrong with being different. But there's a need here to be able to relate and draw to you the people, places, and things that help you fit in your piece into the puzzle so that you can go forth in your life. And I feel like you're at that time where it's almost like I'm seeing two starships docking. Okay, like two big starships docking. Like it's time for you to link up with your soul tribe with your person for some of you. And I know I hear like hissing, like booing. I understand that that's a big call for some of you. Let's keep going here and look at some more cards. We have alignment, magic. We have resurrection. Okay. And we have create. All right. Let's see. We have some tarot here. We have the Two of Wands. I love, 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 love this card. Okay, first of all, this reminds me of a 1, and I immediately am pulled to 1111. Okay, so 1111. Also, this is a doorway. Okay, so I feel like there is a pathway opening for you. I'm seeing that white room again with it's busy now. There's a lot of people in this room. Okay, so I feel like I'm seeing the behind the scenes of what's going on in your pathway, and I'm feeling like I'm seeing this being now. This large headed, like light blue being with the big eyes, but with square glasses on, and they're opening the door to the next pathway. Okay, so, and how is it going to be opened? Through some kind of compromise or some kind of compromise for you. We have the tower. Okay, well, the door is opening. Okay, and there's a tower. Okay, don't panic. Don't panic about this tower. We have the King of Pentacles. Okay, it's going to lead to some kind of success here. The King of Cups, two kings with this tower. Okay, and we have the Ten of Wands here. We're not reading any reversals. There's accomplishment with this tower. Okay, so let's look at these cards. These cards have good questions on them. So let's ask the questions. Are you giving yourself credit for taking care of others so protectively? You're at a positive turning point in your life. Are you excited and ready? Are you beginning to feel pride in yourself and life purpose? Are you doing the jobs of others without getting a break? Okay, so this is what I'm getting. First of all, you're carrying heavy burdens with this Ten of Wands. Okay, I think that you have been trying to manifest something very large by yourself. Okay, I feel like some of you guys may have been having like headaches or stress. You've been sick from stress. Your body's been reacting from tons of stress or anxiety. I feel like you need a break. Flat out, 110%, you need a break. Okay. Rest. Drink lots of water. If you need to see a doctor, go see a doctor. Some of you guys need to take some time out and go for a walk. You need to find a way to de-stress yourself. Go fishing. Get out in around some nature. It will help you. Okay. Take a long bath. Go swimming. Whatever it is for you. Okay. This tower that I feel you may be in, it may be coming, maybe you've already had it, but I feel like it really has to do with you slowing down. I feel like it's an awareness that in many ways the starseed is blocking themselves, okay, with their big head. I feel like the big head is a symbol for a lot of things. I feel like this starseed energy is very much overthinking. They're overproducing. And they're getting in their own way. And over the last couple of months, this message has come through, okay, in different readings. But I feel like for you, this is a consistent problem because I feel like in other dimensions, other lifetimes, this inner child has been the leader. They've had to be the leader. They've had to grow up a lot. And in this lifetime, they've had to grow up a lot. They've had many experiences being the leader and taking control. And in this lifetime, it's been required that you grew up very quickly because of the density of this lifetime, because you wanted to do it all in one lifetime. You wanted to get, the PhD of being a human and ascend in one lifetime to help other people. Okay, so the first part of your life has been really heavy. Some of you guys are still in that shit. Okay, and these, the 10 of wands is extreme burden sometimes. It can be accomplishment as well. And I'm feeling that, okay? But sometimes the tower is about recognizing that you are placing yourself under too many burdens. That sometimes, life's burdens are one thing, but sometimes we place too many burdens on ourselves. And we're actually making things worse for ourselves. Some of you guys need to let go of the expectations that you have set up for yourself. Okay, they're unrealistic. They're unrealistic. Okay, it's not going to go perfectly. This thing that you are in alignment for, this thing that you're manifesting, this yes, okay, you need to become more cosmically aware of your true flow. You need to stop forcing it. You need to stop overthinking things. You need to go with your flow. It's time for you to allow the true flow of self to come forward in this lifetime. Overworking yourself, overthinking situations, getting in your head too much is a block, okay? You can do it. But overworking yourself, overproducing isn't going to make it happen any quicker. You're just adding to your level of stress. And I feel like my group 1, you need to live more of your life. You need to experience more things. It feels like you need a resurrection. And that's part of what this tower is about. There needs to be a renewal of your vitality. Okay. Some of you guys have been extremely tired. Okay. And yes, there are cosmic influences and you are aware, but I need you to pick up on the vital cosmic influences. A lot of times we hear about the blocking the blocking energies, but we don't hear about the vital energies that are flowing. The sun is popping. It's been popping a lot in the last 6 months. That's not a bad thing. That's a lot of vital energy popping in our solar system. And also, I encourage you to get more into your natal chart. Okay, because a lot of us, sometimes we hear about all the bad things about our natal chart, but we don't really get into the good things. Get into the good things look into your sun, not just your sun sign, but how the sun is reflected in your chart. Look at all the positive aspects in your natal chart. Okay, just get into that vibe. Do your numerology and get into, the positive aspects of your numerology. A lot of times that can help you kind of like revitalize yourself. Get out in nature. It can help you revitalize yourself. I feel like you guys need a mental health break. Okay. The thing about this white room with this, it seems like there's always working behind the scenes, is that at some point, and I've talked about this a lot in the last couple of weeks, at some point you have to allow the universe to work. You have to say, okay, we laid the foundation. We did the plan. We did the spell. We did the prayer. We did the pre-planning in the white room. Now, at some point, we have to walk away from the table. We have to do the action, and we have to just let it ride. It's time for you to let some shit ride. Let it play out and receive, okay? Get into your flow. Rest, play, work, okay? Don't live to work. Don't do that to yourself. Experience being human. You're not just here to do the work, okay? You're here to experience life. And once you really start playing, you start to see how you can incorporate your play into your experience of life. Go listen to this song. It's a very playful song, okay? And when I see this inner child, I see them as something very playful, okay? You know that movie Paul? I think it's called Paul. It's about an alien that lands on Earth. And it's a little like computer generated character. And it's a really funny movie. I feel like you guys may have forgotten your like playful inner child, and your inner child desperately needs to play so that they can create. And I don't mean create plans. I feel such earth energy like Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Not so much Taurus. With create I do, but Virgo, Capricorn, like someone who's planning their bag, someone who's planning their moves and constantly working, but not playing enough, not playing enough to stir up their creativity, not playing enough to honor their inner child. And this blue pony needs to play. Okay. And because play helps tap into this sense of wonder, this childlike sense of wonder. And that childlike sense of wonder is going to help you connect to your vitality. Okay. Because I feel like there is a move here. And I feel like you probably bear a lot of responsibility. Like you feel responsible, not just for yourself, if you have a family, not just for your family, but for like a larger group of people. Some of you, it's the collective. Like you feel like, your work is for the collective and you got to do this shit and you got to keep moving all the time. And no, you don't have to keep doing all the time. You have to slow down. And I feel like it's time for you to take a break. Are you doing the jobs of others without getting a break? You need a break. And your inner child is saying, please give us a break. And I know as a workaholic myself, I will tell you, I know as you take a break, you're going to be thinking, well, I'm going to lose this opportunity, or I'm going to lose this, or I'm going to not do this, or whatever. Part of taking a break is dealing with those blocking energies, is dealing with why is your mental space saying these things to you? Why do you immediately go to the lack that's going to happen because you're not constantly working all the time? Why are you working this inner child so hard? Why does this inner child have to constantly prove themselves to the universe that they're worthy of these good things by working them so hard? You don't have to work this hard, okay? You don't. And it's becoming a blocking mechanism. You have to let go. Let up on the grip. Okay, just let up on the grip a little bit, or a lot bit actually for you, because you're at a positive turning point. It says you're at a positive turning point in your life. Are you excited? And be ready. Are you beginning to feel pride in yourself and your purpose? See, these things are coming to you, feeling good about what you're doing. Sometimes when you work less, the work begins to take on a whole deeper meaning. And you're able to do more by doing less. Okay. And then that breakthrough that you've been trying to get to blossoms. Because now you're turning out quality instead of quantity. But it all depends on what your goal is, right? But you need a break. You need a break. Take a breather. Because we have the King of Cups and a King of Pentacles. We've got two kings here, halfway to Emperor status. All right. So, wish fulfillment, success, successful business, independence. And I feel like a King of Cups really intuitively knows their way. Like this is someone who knows what they're doing intuitively, because you know why? Because they are now paying attention intuitively to when they're guided to work, when they're guided to rest, where they're guided to go, and they're doing those things. They're not just pushing it aside and hammering through things until they're exhausted and burnt out. 10 of Wands can very much be about burnt out. That 10 of Wands in that tower, woo! You need to rest. I know, I hate hearing that sometimes. I do, because I feel like all I do is rest. But, your vessel may be very sensitive, okay? So, it is what it is. We all aren't the same. No reversals. We have the 9 of Swords. I know you're worried about taking a break. I know it. I know you are. I could feel it. I understand this. For some reason, your inner child was programmed to believe that they had to work very hard for approval. They had to work very hard to gain anything in the world. And the problem is that because of this message, you can't work hard enough to get it. And it's feeding this poverty, lack mindset that you are not good enough. And as you slow down, you honor the idea that you are good enough. And you don't have to work yourself to death for these things. And the universe will honor that. The universe, it's not going to continue to support you hurting yourself, you breaking yourself down. The universe wants, things have shifted in our reality. I don't know if you've noticed. And now we need to support people taking care of themselves and watch how the work blossoms from a place of self-nurturing and self-healing instead of watching work that comes out from hardship and torment. It's a whole different level and quality of work. Okay. And I'm saying this generally speaking. Sorry, my tongue's heavy from my medication. I know we all have to make a living. Okay. I'm not talking about that. But even if you have, a difficult job that you hate that you have to go to, you can still make time to take care of yourself. And I'm going to tell you something, and it may upset you, but you are a priority. Okay, if you have kids, a family, whatever it is, you cannot take good care of another human being unless you're taking good care of yourself. Say it with me. I cannot take good care of another human being unless I'm taking good care of myself. Write it on your mirror. Live that truth. We have the Ace of Swords. There's your clarity. There's your breakthrough. Your breakthrough in this worry and grief. We have the Five of Wands. I know, I understand there's like a lot of pressure. I know there's a lot of worry about like money and resources. I get that. And you need to do what you need to do. I'm not saying to like stop everything. Survival is important. But if you are like an empty vessel and about to like give out, then what's the point? What's the point, right? These bottom two cards here. We have the Ten of Cups and the Ace of Wands. See, this is what happens. Inspiration and happiness and fulfillment really does come when we start paying attention to our needs. And we get clarity from slowing down. Okay. And I feel like for some of you who are very burdened with misery, like not being able to see how to maneuver, feeling overwhelmed from, shortage of money or time or burdens of a job that you hate, and I really do. I want to bring this home. Like, I really do understand how much pressure this is. Taking time out for yourself will help you find the way through this. Okay. Your inner child desperately needs you to give it some time. Okay. Some of you guys need to go play tennis. I don't know who plays tennis or baseball or sports, but your inner child needs to play really bad. Getting out this worry energy through like play is very helpful. Getting this anxiety out through play is very, very, very helpful. Play with your dog, play with your cat, play with your fish, whatever you do, play. Okay. It will lead you to a lot of clarity about the fight, about the competition, about the issues, about the bills, about how am I going to maneuver through this very stressful situation. You'll get some clarity about it, okay? Because on the horizon is the Ace of Wands and the Ten of Cups, okay? There is good things coming with yes. There is inspiration. There is a renewal of vitality. There is happiness and fulfillment, okay? But honey, you've got to slow down and you've got to play. Your little inner blue starseed child needs some fun activities. All right. Okay, group one, that's what I received for you. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'd love to have you as a member of my tribe. And if you'd like to see more readings like this one, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you, beautiful, magical creatures, next time. Bye, guys. Hey, group two, all of you that selected the violet pony. This is going to be your reading all about the messages that your inner child has for you. Now, the song that you had was I Can't Stop the Feeling from the movie The Trolls. I love the song. It's such a fun song. So that is your song. Let's get into the cards that came out for you. I will probably be drawing more cards as I go for clarity. So let's get into it. So the first card I have for you is Realm Bringer 41. All right. Okay, let's see here. I'm feeling like you could be a masculine energy. It's not gender, it's energy, masculine or feminine, or you could resonate with a non-binary energy as well. So I'm feeling a lot of different energies for group two. So just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Okay, it's definitely energy. All right, we have remain positive. Okay. That's a great message. We all need to remain positive, don't we? Okay, we have romance. All right. Okay. Inner child here. Big happy changes. Big happy changes. Okay. Okay, we have offering my gifts. All right. Beautiful. We have butterfly spirit. Transformation is beautiful. Okay. This feels like good news. Some of you guys, I feel like you're like, really? I don't know. I don't know. This could be self-love too. It doesn't have to be like necessarily a new person. It could also be the love in your life right now transforming. Let's keep going here. What else do you have, inner child? We have higher perception, passion. We have divine feminine, the void. We have crystal technology, silicone. We have silicon, sorry. We have Vry, freedom, and we have silent retreat. Okay, oops. We have what is keeping you from expressing yourself to others? What has you losing sleep and feeling inadequate about yourself? Is there a loss in your life you feel you cannot recover from? Is your home a place you feel safe and secure? All right, we have the Queen of Swords. We have, let me put this right here. We have the Emperor. We have the Three of Pentacles. We have Strength. And we have the King of Cups. Okay. So, I want to first address these questions here because I feel like, is your home a place you feel safe and secure? Is there a loss in your life you feel you cannot recover from? So I feel this violet pony, this little inner child, can't stop the feeling. The song is joyful, but there is sorrow here. Okay. And many times some of the happiest faces, some of the most joyful and funniest people hide some of the deepest trauma. Okay. They hide some of the deepest sorrow. Sometimes their heartbreak is so profound and so deep. I feel like you're highly sensitive. And that's not a bad thing. You may have been told like you're too sensitive. You need to stop being so sensitive. No, don't. Don't let the world take that away from you. Being sensitive is a gift. Okay, not everyone has emotional sensitivity. And I feel this King of Cups here, dapper and dashing as this energy is, this masculine energy is, he is sensitive. Right? He is aligned with his intuition. Okay. We all have masculine and feminine energy. So don't get hung up in gender. Okay. This isn't a gender thing. This is an energy thing. Okay. And I feel like this is an energy of really acting on intuition. Okay. Acting on the gut feeling, having the strength to go forward. There's a lot of divine masculine energy in here, but we have the divine feminine energy with void here. And it feels like either there is an imbalance or there's a void in love. Like there is either in love, there has been a lack of fulfillment in a relationship. And it doesn't mean you're in the wrong relationship. It can mean that there needs to be more emotional connection. It can mean there needs to be more work done. I mean, this emperor is sitting in a chair directing. Okay, so they're communicating with a megaphone. Okay, is there a megaphone? Yeah, megaphone. They're communicating. So there may need to be more communication. We have a Queen of Swords. There may be air energy here, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. And it's hard. It's really hard to communicate. This little inner child may be having trouble communicating because there's so much hurt from the past. And it could be from childhood. It could be this inner child was hurt by a past partner. I feel deep heartbreak here, like being betrayed, being cheated on. Being cheated on by a partner that you truly love can really bring on feelings of worthlessness. Because I feel like there was and it doesn't have to be cheating, but no matter the level or the area of betrayal, I feel like there was a feeling of just feeling completely and utterly like this person, it was like a shim sham. It was all for show. It wasn't real. And there was such a deep investment of the heart here. This is the kind of heartbreak you feel in your heart chakra. If you've never experienced that, then I'm not sure this will resonate for you. But it's the kind, I'll explain it. It's the kind of when you get your heart broken like this. I've felt this a few times in my life, and you literally feel almost like you're having a heart attack. Like you feel it in your very core of self. And you feel unstable, you feel sick, you feel physically weak, you can't really eat, you almost can't talk about it, you feel almost like crying or screaming all the time, and it usually takes a while for that feeling to go away. I want to say the intensity of it, the intense emotions of it last about 3 to 4 days, maybe a week, and then you deal with it for months. It's like a grieving process that's just, it's almost like someone has passed on, but in a way, I don't want to say it's worse, but it is horrific because they're still alive. They're still around. So it's horrific because they're still with us. So they've chosen not only to not be with you or to be for you, but they've also lied to you and betrayed you in some way. So it really does bear your soul. You feel kind of like a mark, kind of like someone got over on you and used you, and it's a horrible feeling. And I feel like for you and your inner child, I feel like there's a lot of feelings of inadequacy that has come up with this. There's a lot of voided feeling, right? Of not being enough. And I feel like it's really cut you off from your emotions in a lot of ways. Like you have either consciously decided, I'm not going to let people into my emotions. I'm not going to let people have access. And this may have been something you've done a long time ago. It may have been something that you did subconsciously as a child. It could have been consciously. But what it's done, especially if you're in a relationship, it's made it very difficult for you to get close to somebody, yourself or anyone else. So whether you're alone in a relationship or looking for your person, it makes it very difficult for you to get close to somebody. What is keeping you from expressing yourself to others? I'm feeling sorry, I touched the mic. Throat chakra. Throat chakra is restricted here. So there's a need to express yourself more, to give yourself freedom, okay? Offering my gifts. I feel like your gifts have to do with your depth of emotion. I think you have a great capacity to love. I think you are deeply passionate. I think when you love somebody, you give everything. I think it's a gift. I think your love is so incredibly passionate and deep and fulfilling to a person that it is like a gift. It's very special because your ability to feel the depths of the heartbreak is the same level of the love that you can give, right? But the problem is that because of the damage that's been done, there's a fear here of going deep again, or being open again to someone else. And you're denying yourself, you're denying this beautiful inner child, the experience of being deeply in love with yourself or anyone else. And this is part of why you're here. You're here to overcome this fear. You're here to love and embrace yourself truly. And what happens is when we begin to fall in love with ourselves, we automatically attract love. It is something that comes in. Now, some people will say, well, I've been looking for love for 15 years and it hasn't shown up. Well, I would say to you, then perhaps you need to take a reflective look at yourself. Because I would say there's probably some things there that you need to work on. Because when you are truly in love with yourself, the voided space that you feel, the lack you feel about not having someone, doesn't really feel like lack anymore. It doesn't feel like the void anymore because you're busy being in love with yourself, sharing love with other people, being in your passion, whatever you're passionate about, and living your life. And by doing that thing, those things, and just engaging in the world, you attract people and places and experiences to you. And a byproduct of that is love. So I would say that there probably needs to be a new, fresh perspective within yourself over the things you're passionate about, you know? And for many of you, I feel like that's part of what's happening here. Like, there's a need here to remain positive. There is realm bringer. There is big happy changes. So there is a shifting that's coming in. Your inner child wants you to know that things are shifting for you. There is a change coming, okay? For some of you, this is about your work with the Three of Pentacles here. This could be that you're going to be seen or noticed at work, or you just may start being seen more. And this has to do with you taking more time for yourself, okay? You sitting with yourself, okay? And you starting to really get to know yourself. You exploring the things that you like to do, you spending time with your inner child, you responding to the things your inner child likes to do, you giving yourself some freedom, okay, to express yourself creatively. Some of you guys may feel driven to like go to therapy. Some of you guys may be driven to start like being more artistic. But there's definitely like, especially with this butterfly spirit here, I feel like there is a throat chakra activation. So for me, that means there's more communication with this Queen of Swords as well. There's more expression of self. It may be that you start dressing more like you like, choosing who and how you communicate, from a deeper, more intuitive place with this King of Cups here. And I feel like you're going to be forming a stronger bond with who you are. You're going to know more authentically who you are. And you're going to be more passionate about the things you're doing. It's like you're moving from a time where you're going to be spending less passion on things that don't move you. You'll still be doing the things you need to do to make money, but you'll also be spending your energy on things that make money, okay? You'll have to do that. But for some of you, you're going to start some kind of hobby or side hustle that's going to fulfill your passion, okay? This is going to help you kind of start to radiate a different kind of energy. It's going to shift your perspective, and you're going to start to see that there is more options for you than are possible, than you thought were possible before. Sorry if my tongue's heavy. I'm medicated today. So we have butterfly spirit transformation is beautiful. There's a beautiful transformation. And I feel like there's a romance that is blooming within yourself. There's a radical self-love. And I feel like you need to love on your inner child, Okay, there's a brokenness here. I see an inner child. It looks like a little boy playing with a broken doll, and a broken truck, and his ball is deflated. So one of those three toys may mean something to you, okay? Because there are three toys and they're all broken. And really, this little boy just needs someone to come in and not fix the toys, but take them outside and spend time with them. Okay. And I feel like that's what you need to do. You need to attend to your inner child's needs. Okay. And I think for you, that's attention, that's activity, that is finding things that inspire you. I feel like someone needs to go to the zoo or the water or to the aquarium or get a fish or a plant. Some of you guys may have had sea monkeys or an aquarium or a bird as a kid. There's a fascination with animals here. Lean into that. You know, if you'd like to play with puzzles or Rubik's cubes or things like that, like little puzzles or crosswords or things like that, you know, do what you can afford, but get you some of those things. If you'd like to play with balls and jacks and it helped with your anxiety as a kid, do it now. Okay. Do the things that remind you of the good memories of your childhood. Okay. Do the things that helped you deal with your issues as a kid. You know, one of my things was like Barbie dolls. I had, uh, you guys, I had so many Barbies. It's not even funny. I had a lot of Barbies. Okay. So, and that's how I dealt with a lot of like my childhood things. I just would line up my Barbies. I did this whole OCD thing with my Barbies. Did you guys OCD with your toys? I did mine. So, you know, do the things that help you align with some happy memories. I feel like you need to bring more happy and joyful energy into your life. And you need to know that you're safe and secure. There's a need here to self-parent a bit. And by focusing on your inner child's needs, it will help you kind of learn how to self-parent more. When you see and feel the energy of your inner child, it will help wake up your own sense of compassion for everything your inner child has been through, because this inner child is sad. You know, their toys are broken. I see them in kind of like a living room that has a big window and it's very sunny outside, but the room is very dark. And in the glow of the rays of light that come in, I see dust just kind of flying around the room. Like it feels like a forgotten child. Like everyone else is out playing or working on the car or whatever, and they're alone on a Saturday with broken toys. And I feel like this inner child needs attention. They need minding. They need someone to pay attention to what they're eating and what they're doing and what they're thinking. And I feel like you just need time. You need to slow down and listen to what your needs are. Okay. Pay attention to what you need. Okay. Because I feel like there is such a positive shift coming for you. For some of you with this crystal technology, I feel a couple of things here. I feel like for some of you, this has to do with the internet. Okay. It has to do with technology. Okay. Maybe you have some kind of job or you do something online and you're going to be seen more. Okay. Because of this healing thing. All right. For some of you, this is about you need to work with crystals. This inner child loves crystals. They love rocks and crystals and all that good stuff. So get you some crystals. Some of you guys need to get you a crystal quartz. Okay. Or whatever stone that you feel drawn to. All right. We have purple or violet here as a color, so it may be amethyst as well, or pink agate. That's a good one. I'm getting that as well. That's good for intuition and things like that. So you may be drawn to crystals. I think crystals may be really helpful. Some calming crystals. Clear crystal quartz is a great crystal to have if you haven't started a crystal collection. A clear crystal quartz is just a good basic crystal to have. You can kind of program it to do anything, well, almost anything. And A rose quartz is a good basic crystal to have, and an amethyst. Those are really good basic crystals to have. If you're going to work on your throat chakra, a lapis lazuli can be a wonderful crystal to have as well. But I feel like those can be very helpful on your road to this transformation. I do want to say here with the silence card, I feel like meditation and being in nature in silence could be very helpful and beneficial to you. Okay. This little inner child, this little inner child just desperately needs some nurturing. Okay. You need to be nurtured, and you're going to have to do it for yourself. All right. Okay. All right, group 2, that's what I received for you. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'd love to have you as a member of my tribe. And if you'd like to see more readings like this one, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you beautiful, magical creatures next time. Bye, guys. Hey, group 3, all of you that selected the pink pony, this is going to be your reading all about the messages your inner child has for you. Your song was 1,000 Years by Christina Perri, and I got to say, your inner child is breaking my heart. I hope I can get through this reading, you guys. It's very emotional for me. Just the energy here. As you can see on this little pony, he has, its energy, has a mark on their face, and it's just part of their little pony face. And the song, it's just, the energy is just, this little pony has been through a lot. Okay, this little pony has been through a lot, you guys. So let's see what your inner child has to say. Okay, so keep in mind, this is a general reading. It's a general session. So just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. I will probably be pulling more cards as I need to for clarity. I don't think I did for group 2, but I did for group 1. So we'll just see what happens. All right, so let's see what came out for you. We have trust your innocence. I feel like a lot of you guys had your innocence betrayed, probably at a very young age. And you may not feel very innocent, but you are. You're more innocent than what you think you are. Just because you have a background where you were brutalized and taken advantage of doesn't mean that you don't remain innocent. Innocence is more than like a medical record or a state of physical being. Innocence is a state of spirit. It's a state of mind. It's a state of being. It's a state of wonder. It's a state of trusting the universe as well. All right, we have seeking healing water. Yeah, there's a lot of healing energy for group 3. Lots of healing for this little pony. We have co-create with spirit. We have learn from the past, elephant spirit. We have bee spirit, sweet results await. Trust. Success. Don't stop. The situation will improve. I feel very emotional. We have grace here. We have stability. We have ego death. Let's get into these questions. Have you had a loss, shock, or struggle that you are bottling up? Have you noticed someone who was rude to you is now starting to warm up to you? Have you reflected on a transformation and rebirth of your old way of life to a new one? What in your life needs to be healed? Is it a challenge for you to assert your authority in most situations? Wow. um, I feel like you are going through a rebirthing process. And this one is different. I feel like some of you guys have done this before, but this is different. This is very deep. It involves a this is I feel like I'm gonna cry, you guys. It feels like it involves this very deep healing of this very wounded inner child. It's allowing this inner child to be healed. This fearful, um, abused, neglected inner child. It feels like some of you guys have you noticed someone who was rude to you is now starting to warm up to you? I feel like a lot of you guys dealt with a narcissist who was a parent, an abusive parent. This is getting very specific, but it take what resonates here. Um, and I feel like this, I don't want to trigger you in the exact like what it was, but it feels like this level of trauma has haunted you throughout your life. It has created situations that were not stable. I feel like you were constantly reminded of of not feeling innocent, like feeling guilty or dirty or not good enough or not worthy, as if you bore the marks of your abuse. Some of you felt like you wore it on your face, like people could just tell. People could just tell by looking at you. Maybe some of you guys have issues with food or your vessel. Maybe there was some kind of permanent damage. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know those words ring hollow, but from the bottom of my heart, I am so sorry for your suffering. I understand this kind of suffering. It feels like there is healing energy pouring in for this situation. It's as if there is grace coming through the universe to heal the heart of this inner child, this wounded inner child. Mercy. I'm seeing mercy. I'm seeing the word mercy, and I'm seeing a flow of like living water, healing water coming through to this collective. I feel like some of you guys are going to find emotional support. Maybe you're seeking therapy. Perhaps this is a new friend. Perhaps it is you learning how to cope better, or you being more present for yourself. Perhaps you start journaling. But I feel like this part of the collective is going to learn how to process their emotions in a way that is more healing, um, and being able to express these emotions. I feel like a lot of you guys haven't been able to really feel good emotions because you haven't been able to feel really any emotions. Because many times when we are dealing with narcissistic abuse, or traumatic abuse, or however you want to label this, we disassociate or distance ourselves from those emotions. And when we do that, we kind of pack up all the emotions eventually because it's more energy efficient. Especially as children, to just kind of pack it all away instead of having to weed through all of it, just pack it all away. We don't really feel anything. We don't really feel happy. We don't really feel sad. We just kind of feel numb and we float through life and we never really get to connect with anyone. But when we do connect, there's always this negative feeling of not feeling good enough or feeling dirty or feeling held apart or feeling judged or feeling like somehow we're marked or they see us as something bad. Um, or guilty. All that stuff is placed upon us by other people's sins, if you will, by other people's wrongdoings against us. Because as children, we are not to blame. We are blameless. We are innocent. You remain innocent to this day. You are still the innocent child. No one, listen to me. Listen to Auntie Amy, okay? I love you guys. And I want you to know that no one can steal your innocence from you. No one can steal that from you. It's not something that lives in your vessel, okay? It's something that's in your spirit. It's in your soul, baby. You are still this wonderful, beautiful, innocent inner child, okay? That's who you are. And when you can embrace this inner child, embrace the sense of wonder, it's okay to be playful. It's okay to lean into your innocence and your childlike quality, especially if you didn't have a childhood and you guys did not have one. It's okay for you to color in a coloring book. It's okay for you to be goofy and silly. And if people judge you, oh well, they haven't walked in your shoes. They don't know what it's like. Let them judge. It doesn't matter. You've been judged before for worse, right? "54 reduces to a 9. A 9, that number is the end of a cycle. It's an ending. Embracing your innocence and your childlike wonder opens many doors. It restores this inner child to its rightful place of childhood. You acknowledge your need for that experience. And I'm not saying, about like regression and things like that. I'm just saying it's okay for you to be silly and collect Matchbox cars. Sorry, my tongue's heavy because of my medicine. It's okay for you to blow bubbles with your kids. It's okay for you to go play in the rain with your daughter. It's okay for you to be silly and goofy. It's okay for you to stare at the stars with childlike wonder. That is part of the human experience. And I want to tell you a secret. It's not just for childhood. This thing about childlike wonder and innocence is only for childhood is not true. It's for all of us all the time. We should live in wonder and awe of the universe, of our reality. The world right now is a tough place. There's a lot of bad shit going on, right? But we still live in a magical world. And if we can connect to that and still see the wonder and innocence of the world, the beautiful animals and the trees and the plants, the ocean and mountains, the wonder and the laughter you share with friends, the miracles that still happen every day. And let me tell you something. Now listen to me. Listen to your Auntie Amy. You may not think so, but honey, you being here today is a miracle. And don't you ever think you're less than that, because you are. I know it. I feel it. I feel how many times you've wanted to give up. Don't stop. I feel this. I feel like I just can't take it anymore. I can't take it. I can't take the manipulation. I can't take the physical pain. I can't take the trauma. I can't take life. Because on top of all this stuff, then you grow up and you have the irregular adult stuff, which is hard. So you're dealing with this traumatized body, brain, spirit, soul. And then you have the regular adult stuff, and you're just like, I can't do it. But you don't give up, you keep going. That takes bravery and courage, because no matter how much you think you've lost your innocence, to keep going, to keep hope alive, takes a level of innocence that most people don't have. Because hope lives in the realm of innocence and wonder. Wonder in the universe requires a level of innocence. You have to be willing to kind of have some magical thinking. Because sometimes when you break the universe down into math, you get real logical with it. It's kind of like, well, I kind of lost the moment, you know? But leaning into the magic of it, leaning into the wonder of it, does something to us spiritually. It's inspiring. Yes, the math is important and it has a place. But when we're trying to get from one place to another, when we're trying to move from a place of difficulty to a place of lightness, leaning into logic sometimes doesn't serve us. And I know as a traumatized person that sometimes logic serves you well. It can keep you grounded and it can keep you focused. But sometimes logic can also weigh you down because you do see the world as it is. And sometimes when you see the world as it is, it can be a very depressing place. So the ability to return to a state of wonder at the miracles that happen every day, the fact that we are still breathing air and wake up every morning is a miracle. Because with the way things are, who knows? Who knows? You know, so many random things are happening in this reality, on this timeline. Who's to say, right? So embrace your innocence and embrace the wonder of everyday life. Because they're feeding us a lot of information about lack on a daily basis. I'm getting a lot of water images. Okay, so I feel like a lot of you guys might want to play in some water. I know that sounds weird, but like go swimming or take a bath or, you know, go play with your kids in some water, spray some water around, go jump through a sprinkler or a slip and slide. You know, I'll share with you, as a kid, I used to love to water ski. I was big on water skiing. And we didn't have a boat, but I had a friend who had a boat. And man, I love to water ski. It was so much fun. And I love being in the water. I still to this day love being in the water, but I can't really like go out where a lot of people are swimming because of germs and stuff, because of my autoimmune disease. But water for me has always been very healing. And some of you guys might want to take, and I tell this to people all the time, but I swear it's a basic healing bath. And I swear by it. It helped me through some really tough times where I was like transmuting a lot of sorrow, like powerfully, like in days. And so I was like taking like 4 or 5 of these a day. Okay. But, you know, take you a hot bath, however hot, you know, what's comfortable for you, get you some Epsom salts. I do like to use the, it's like, what is that? There's one that has like rose and citrus in it, or they used to, or pink Himalayan salt in it. That one's a good one too. And they have one that's rosemary and mint. That's a good one. Sometimes I will put different oils in it, depending, make sure they're safe. Art of the Root has some really good oils. They have a Venus oil, love oil, that's really good, like for self-love and healing and things like that. They also have some healing oils, like calming oils. I actually emailed them and asked them, are your oils safe for bath, and they were like, yeah, that's safe for your skin. So, but just do as you're guided, okay? I'm not a professional, blah, 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 all that stuff, okay? But do as you're guided, and you don't need a lot, okay? Just very little, like little bit, okay? Also, you can get some crystals. Not all crystals are water safe, you can put them around your tub, not in the water necessarily. Do as you're guided. I have a big rose quartz here. I have other kinds of crystals. Put on like some crystal bowls are very good for water work, but whatever like healing meditations you like. I have a powerful meditations list. I don't know, there's probably 100 different kinds of meditations on there. I am frequency music. I've listened to all of them. I've used all of them, and all of them have really good vibes. Okay, they work. And I encourage you to kind of like look into those. They can be very helpful. And I've used this kind of method when I'm like transmuting energy, when I have a lot of sorrow. I have cried many tears in those bathtubs. As far as somebody who has been really cut off from emotions and felt a flow of emotions. And I will tell you, as far as returning to innocence, I think it really helped me like get more in touch with like a state of innocence, returning to my emotions, allowing myself to cry. Because I didn't cry. I didn't cry for many years. I just did not cry. And when I did cry in those years, I didn't feel it. And there's a difference between crying and feeling the emotions and crying and feeling the emotions. And, it was scary. It's scary to cry and feel emotions and be afraid you're never going to stop crying. But I promise you, you will. Okay, some of you guys need to release some of this pent up emotion. It's part of the healing. Now, if you don't have a bathtub, you can use a shower. They have these little tablets you can get that have different herbs in them, and that can help you like release, different kinds of trauma and things like that, or, can be purifying, or so you can check that out too. You can do washes and things like that. But you can use the water. You can visualize the water kind of like going over your skin and washing away some of the energy. In the bathtub, I always visualize the energy going into the bathtub, going into the water and draining down the drain into the earth, into Gaia, and her taking the energy, transmuting the energy. However you picture her transmuting the energy and returning the energy back to you as healing energy. Whichever way works for you, up through the roots of the ground, roots of the trees, through water, however. Okay, that's just a short little method of how to kind of do that. But I do find that it's very healing. I feel like some of you guys are emotional pressure cookers. Like you have almost denied yourself emotions, and you really need to access those. Okay, very tender-hearted, very bruised heart chakra. I feel like some of you guys have a bruised heart, and you need to just let yourself cry. I know it's scary to feel these emotions, but people have not been good to you. Okay, and it's not okay. It's not okay to make it okay. It's not okay for you to just say, well, I can have a relationship with them as long as I put that to the side. We don't have to talk about it anymore. Well, you know what? You deserve to feel the emotions of that, and you deserve to talk about it. It matters. You know why it matters? Because it happened to you, and that's valid. You're valid. Your emotions are valid. What you've been through is valid. Your pain is valid. You matter, and what happened to you matters. And it matters that you take time to feel it. Allow your inner child to feel what happened. Allow yourself to feel what happened. You deserve that. And as you feel the emotions, your compassion for your inner child and yourself grows. And you realize what a fighter you are, how strong you are. Okay, let's get into your tarot. We have the Tower. We have the Seven of Swords. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the Page of Cups. And we have the High Priestess. Okay, so the Tower and the Seven of Swords. Like this to me is your trauma. This is the stuff that's been haunting you your whole life. This is the emotion. This is all that stuff. But you know what? Your inner child wants you to know that things are going to get better. They know it's going to get better. Your ancestors, your angels, your higher self, the universe wants you to know that this is going to get better. It really is. And it's time for you to allow yourself to feel, to know, and to honor your own divinity and to honor your truth, okay? The high priestess knows truth. You know the truth. It's time for you to honor your truth and honor your inner child. Love your inner child. Love yourself. What happened to you happened. Your emotions are valid. And your emotions are a pathway to happiness and success. We have the Knight of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. There is a wish fulfillment coming for you. Okay, success, trust your process. You're being asked to trust the universe. Trust your pathway. I know trust is very hard for you. I understand. I really do. But I see angels on their knees begging, please trust your path. There is something wonderful on the horizon for you. And it's really important right now that you connect with your emotions, that you allow yourself to blossom, that you allow the expression of your authentic self to further blossom and bloom and come forward, because it's going to bring you a wish fulfillment. And for some of you, this is love. For others, this is that opportunity you want. It's a specific wish fulfillment, and it's something you've been co-creating with Spirit. Okay? So you know what it is, all right? It's been something that you've been working on, okay? But part of it is you got to let go of the past. So some of you have some emotional baggage you have to let go of. And that doesn't mean you just let it go and leave it at the door, right? You got to process it. And that's why we're talking about the healing, the water, seeking healing water. It's talking about processing some of this betrayal emotion, some of this, deep-seated traumatic emotion that you've had to live through and you haven't really processed. Some of you guys are in the middle of processing it. Some of you guys are starting to process it. But it's time for you to deal with this tower that happened to you, to deal with it, to deal with the emotions of it. I feel like it's already fallen. It already happened, but it's almost like you have a delayed emotional response to things, okay? I understand this because I'm a traumatized person. I have a traumatized brain, and I used to have a delayed response to everything because that's how my brain learned to handle things without me being overwhelmed, is that my emotional response was always delayed. And we're talking delayed by months. So I understand this. So it's time to heal that and start to kind of like give yourself permission, your inner child permission to experience the emotion. It's okay to be sad because people weren't good to you. It's okay to be angry because people were bad to you. It's okay to be disappointed because people mistreated you. It's okay. Your emotions and how you feel are valid. And it's good to find healthy ways to release this energy. Okay, so sometimes we need to find a counselor or a friend or an artistic, creative way to express that. But whatever you do, process it. Journaling can be helpful. But do what you need to do to process this, because allowing this energy to be processed and trusting the universe is really going to help bring in a beautiful wave of wish fulfillment and success, okay? It's going to bring in a kind of like a transformation, a glow up. You guys might be drawn to group 2 as well. For you guys, 1 and 2 might have something for you because your particular group seems to have a lot of really intense energy. Like, you guys have been through a lot. You guys are definitely traumatized. Okay, so I feel like there is so much good coming for you. Okay. There's just a lot of density here. And I know what it's like to hold on to emotion. And I just want to tell you, as you work through this energy, as you release this emotion, you're going to feel so much better. You're going to feel as how will you know you're working through this? How will you know you're making progress? You're going to energetically and physically feel the release of this emotion. You're going to feel it. You're going to be like, I'm just starting to feel better. I don't know, because you're going to feel this sweet results, this golden glow energy kind of start to swirl around you. You're making room for good things, for positivity, by allowing these emotions to be processed, because this kind of density built up like this can really start to cause a lot of problems in your life. It can cause a lot of blockages, right? And it can cause you to do like behaviors that can lead to, health issues and all kinds of things. So this will clear up some of the toxic behaviors you have. We all have them, especially if we've been traumatized, right? It will help clear up some blockages that you have in your life. Memory. I want to kind of bring to the surface here that as you begin to reflect and you may have some memories that are upsetting, please seek help. Okay. Also, lean into the good things in your memories. Okay, don't just see the bad, be willing to see the good. Because once we connect emotionally with the bad, we need to also be open to the good. And I can remember sitting on my couch and actually having an emotional memory for the first time of something good, like emotionally remembering something good. And I realized that I think this is how most people feel their emotions, like their memories, like having an emotional memory of something good. Like when they have a good memory, they feel the emotion with it. I don't think I've really felt that before. And it was amazing. It was very healing when you realize that just like you have emotional memories of trauma and things, you can have emotional memories that are good and healing. And it's like the pieces come together and you start to realize that you can use those positive emotional memories to help you heal and cope with some of that negative stuff too. You begin to see yourself balance. So, and again, I want to say if you need help, please seek a professional. I'm just a woman with a gift and I'm sharing it with you. Okay. All right, guys, that's what I received for you. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'd love to have you as a member of my tribe. And if you'd like to see more readings like this one, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you, beautiful, magical creatures, next time. Bye, guys.